Hi, guys. Welcome to Weekly Travel Updates, the Halloween edition. So, I have to start off with some jokes. Why do ghosts go to bars? For the booze. Where does a mummy go on vacation? To the Dead Sea. Where does a ghost go on vacation? Malibu. All right, these aren't very good. Why don't mummies take a day off? They're afraid to unwind. Okay, last one. What happened to the witch who flew off angry? She flew off the handle. Da da da. All right, that's it. I won't put you through anymore. I have got to tell you about the Dark Sea. The Dark Sea was a 60-minute production yesterday on cruises for Australia. Now, Australia is a little different than we are because if a crime happens at sea, it's not reported to Australian government. There aren't any protocols in place that require it be reported, so very seldom is it. Dark Sea is about it's a panel that took place in Australia, and it was to bring up social situations and how they got pulled into the Coral Princess, um, COVID-19 cases. Well, I mentioned last week that the ship that is the first ship into Australia cruising has 120 cases on board, and that's crew members and travelers. And it has really scared them. So I was pretty surprised. I watched this and rewatched it today just so I could get some takeaways. And I thought it would be interesting to share tonight because they really have no protection. And to be fair with you, the protection even that we have as US citizens is not much greater because a lot of things came out in that many crimes that happen on cruise ships go unreported. And if they're reported, it may not go higher than who you reported it to. Um, Stuff rolls downhill, and they don't like situations on cruise lines. They don't want any bad publicity. And what happens when there's something catastrophic happen? It's right in the news. So their take on this is that no Australian rules are in play, and the authorities who should take responsibility when something goes wrong is the country of whose ship it is registered. So, like, for instance, many of the Carnival ships you'll see them registered in the Bahamas are in Panama. Many of the ships for across the lines, you'll see them in these countries that have less restrictions, that the cruise lines pay lower taxes to, and good or bad, there are not as many inspections and requirements when a ship is flagshipped under one of these courtesy flags, or a flag of convenience. That's what it's called. And so a country that is to take control of this in the Bahamas or Panama there are not only not resources, but little interest. And so it just falls through the cracks. One of the gentlemen that was on the panel, a daughter was in a party of 4, and it was 2 years later that they found out what happened to their daughter. She was found dead the next morning. She had gone out alone. That's why I put the little post, never go alone. It really doesn't matter if you're on a cruise ship, if you're walking the streets of downtown New York, or wherever you might be, Las Vegas. It is best not to go alone these days. This world is a different world than it was even 10 years ago. So my theme is don't go alone. When we take these groups on trips, we do this. And one of the biggest advantages is that there's always somebody in our group that's around. We tend to watch out after each other. It just kind of happens. But what happened was the death of Diane Brumble. And her body was found the next morning, and she had the date rape drug along with excessive alcohol, and was pronounced dead in a room which was occupied by 4 single men. The family and the body were put off in port at the next port with very little information given. Just that Princess Contact would be in touch with them to do follow-up. And literally, it was 2 years later before they found out actually what happened to their daughter and sister. Cruise lines themselves are not compelled to share information about crimes. They're not compelled to, and so they don't. As a matter of fact, when this body and this family was dropped off in the port, the ship was there for less than 30 hours. So no forensics team got to go on board and do more investigations. They didn't have opportunity to interview other people that were at the scene or crew members. They just said it was very much like a cover-up. So it's not like that in the US, where anytime that there is a major crime, a sexual assault, a murder, a person overboard, that was thought to have maybe had foul play, any of those things have got to be reported to the US authorities upon return of the ship. Actually, sometimes it's before that, because I know that I've told you of several stories where the ship is met by authorities there to pick up someone who caused a disturbance or an outbreak on a ship. So it is, it's interesting. But another case that came about was in as far back as 2013, when a lead singer was found dead on the ship. She had joined fellow cast members, and when she was discovered dead, again, there were drugs and alcohol involved. But you're not under law on that cruise ship. You're not under law except for the law of the captain of the ship. That's why that captain can put you in a brig. That captain can have you arrested upon the next disembarkation. There's lots of things that captain can do. So wanted to tell you about the dark sea. And Australians, they're really warning travelers to be very cautious about going on cruise ships. They don't have some of the same protections that we do, but these are reminders that cruise ships where there is alcohol involved, partying involved, it opens up sometimes situations that are not easy to get out of. And that's what sounds like happened in both of these instances. Well, I promised an update on Disney. Did you know that there is one Disney park that's closed indefinitely? Who can tell me what that is? Somebody put in the chat. What is that? What is that park name? I'm going to scoot over here to get to my comments. I want to see if you guess it correctly. Hey, Lisa Thomas. Lisa, which Disney park do you think is indefinitely closed? Okay, well, I will tell you. It is the Disney Shanghai. An outbreak of COVID-19 has reoccurred in China, so much to the point that they have closed 2 large theme parks, one of which is the Disney Shanghai. It'll be something that we'll keep an eye out on because it's kind of scary since we don't want round 2. Okay. In other Disney news, Disney has changed the annual pass program. It has only come out a couple of times this year, and both times for very short periods of time. So if you have interest, I am going to start a list, and as soon as it breaks, I'll be sure to let you know. It's not certain if there will be large discounts because, like, as of right now, there are no 2023 discounts for Disney. It shouldn't stop you from making reservations if you know we want to go spring break or we want to go 2 weeks after school is out. Go on and make those reservations, and when the price decreases, you will already have space on the dates that you want and park reservations, because we are going to continue to make room reservations and park reservations for your tickets because they don't normally coincide anymore. And the park hopper pass, well, now it is set up where the park hopper pass, you cannot hop to another park until after 2 p.m. The reason being is so they can keep better head counts of where people are, how many people are in each park, et cetera, et cetera. And those park reservations are not going anywhere. That's already been discussed. It'll be for sure through the end of 2023. Kids under 3 are still free, and the daily range for 2023 tickets will range from $109 to $159. And like Christmas this year, that's a $159 day. Kind of gone are the days that, it's a 5-day pass and you can start at any 5 days. It's different now. New parking fees for all Disney resorts. All Disney resorts are going to charge a parking fee now between $10 and $15 per day. No new news on Disney dining yet. We're anxiously awaiting that and the breaking date for Tron. Neither of those are out yet. But in other news, did you see the State Department had issued a travel warning for Pakistan a little more than 2 weeks ago? Well, following that, now they have issued one. Well, Pakistan was a level 3, understandable, for the continued unrest that's there. But for India, it's a level 2. And this is a season we're going into that can be popular. So I know that there are people hating that news is out there, but it is. Let me tell you, we lost Jerry Lee Lewis this week. And that was a heartbreak, because Great Balls of Fire was a favorite song of my dad's. So, hated to hear that. Um, with the tropical storms that have been coming in, a tropical storm hit the Philippines and this weekend, and there are more than 100 dead, but more than 1 million people affected, and more rain is on its way Wednesday. So do me a favor, hold those people up in prayer. We are blessed that we haven't had anything catastrophic happen to us, but 900,000 people are displaced, and man, that's just really hard. That's really hard to think about. Okay, let's tell you about the biggest travel news, I guess. The biggest travel news is that Royal Caribbean opened sales for the Icon of the Sea, their brand new ship, and 24 hours later, that ship was completely sold out, including the Sky Suite, which was in excess of $30,000 for that room for its inaugural sailing. I found that to be very interesting. I did look into some cabins for a diamond member. First day it opened, I guess it was the 24th, and it was just too expensive. It was so much more expensive. He said he could do 2 cruises on another ship and go to the same places for the amount that he'd have to spend to be on the new ship. He might as well wait for the bugs to get out of it. So let me know if you are one of those people booked on that sailing. I would love to know. I'd like to have somebody that I could follow that week. Okay, Holland American, they have just finished their sailing of their 150th anniversary. And when the ship got to port in New York, they gave a medallion award to a person, or to let me see, how did he say that sounded so cool? I'm gonna blow it. Anyway, there is a dog with 700 days on board ship. It's a service dog, and they gave him the Magellan Award because, if you had 700 sea days, you would be way on up there. And so Holland American awarded this dog. Obviously not the same owner, but hey, that sounds like a pretty good deal to me. We've helped our customers with service animals on cruises and traveling down the Caribbean and even traveling to Europe. So just one of those things we can help you with. Let us know if that's of need. And Carnival this week drops San Juan from its cruise itinerary for a whole year. Now, right now it's on the Mardi Gras, and they're replacing it with Nassau. And travelers, not any of my travelers, but on a news report today, travelers just got an email that said, we would like to update our cruise itinerary for you. In place of going to San Juan, Puerto Rico, we'll now be calling on Nassau in the Bahamas. Wow, what would you think of that? What would be your reaction? I would be disappointed. But tell me your reaction. I would very much like to know. And in other Carnival news, Carnival limits its drink package to 15 drinks per day. Why did they get rid of San Juan? We are thinking, Teresa, that it is a financial decision because it is so much closer to go to the Bahamas than it is San Juan. Right now, there's no other news given, but that was announced today. All right. In other Carnival news, I said they're limited. Their unlimited beverage package has 15 drinks included. And that's kind of been going on for a while. But what has made a lot of people unhappy is that Carnival no longer allows liquor delivery to your room. Like, you could have had a bottle of, I don't know, bourbon delivered to your room so that when you got to the ship, um, if you had the soda package, you already have your alcohol in your room. What more do you need? Well, I guess that Carnival decided that they were losing too much money on that situation, so there are no more alcoholic deliveries. If you already placed an order, they're protecting you on that, but no more new requests can be made. All right. MSC. Let me tell you about MSC. I had a traveler friend get off of an MSC ship, and I said, "So what was your takeaways?" Well, the announcements came in English, Italian, Spanish, German. I mean, like, every announcement. So if you have been on a cruise ship before, you get quite a few announcements. Think of the time that it will take each morning to do those announcements in 5 languages. And the captain came on to give an update about the weather for the day, and he too gave the interpretation for all 5 languages. Pretty smart captain. And the crew director, which is, or the cruise director, which is the other one who does the morning announcements in all those languages. Well, there's going to be another ship on TV. Who has seen the Love Boat? I'll be honest, I haven't seen it. The real Love Boat, I think that's what it's called. I don't think it's getting quite the pickup that they had hoped to, but another cruise line is going to join the ranks. And Andy Cohen has been interviewing the below the deck captains. And below the deck captains are going to do a special, and it's going to be done and filmed while it is on the Celebrity Beyond. And the Celebrity Beyond is going to list this on Bravo TV. So if one of you guys see it before I do, let me know. But it should be coming up soon. But it's another spotlight on a cruise ship. And the more exposure that it gets, I think it's greater popularity. Listening to the 60 Minutes from Australia really will make you think, because, the fastest growing cruise segment are new cruisers. So who more needs help than new cruisers? One of the services that we offer is I just tell you what's available in each port. I can help you make decisions, or very frequently, I can tell you something else you can do. Many times things that we have done that were not of cost. Or, like, for instance, if you're in Cozumel, you can go to the Chubanaw Ecotourism Park. You pay $78 a person. But what I tell my travelers to do is to get off the ship, just follow the traffic out to the road, and there's a line of taxis there. Well, jump in one of those taxis and say, "Take me to Chubanaw Park." Costs $4 to get there, $4 to get back, and $10 a person entry fee. So for less than $30, you're at the same place. You're not strapped to what time the bus says that you have to go and what time they say you have to return. You are kind of on your own, but you have so much more flexibility. And that's just one example. I will share that save November 15th, because if Alaska has been on your bucket list, November 15th, a Tuesday night, is 2 weeks from today, or 2 weeks from tomorrow, is when we are going to go over the day-by-day itinerary. Let me tell you everything that's included and the highlights that you can only get through our exclusive groups. Well, I'll let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry I got a little lengthy, but hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.